There is only one religion in the universe. Its name is Sanatana Dharma. There can be no other religion than that. And I don't mean Ganesha and Saraswati. I mean that infinite and eternal religion which shows the infinite consciousness of God coming out and manifesting everything, and then that which draws us back into oneness with Him. That is the religion. And it cannot be different on the most distant planet in the most distant galaxy of this universe, because that is what it is all about. That is what the deeper teachings of Hinduism and of Christ and of Buddha and all the great religions have taught. Are there false religions? There are. We have to accept that man too will invent. But any religion that teaches this is true. Ask yourself, has it produced saints? If so, fine. Are those saints defined in terms of their love for God and of their feeling that He alone acts through us and He alone is the reality? Then they are true saints. There are guidelines by which you can go. And applying those guidelines to Master, I have to say that of all the saints that I have met, you can't compare saints because they're all equally great. I remember we saw the life of Gyandev years ago in English. It was a wonderful movie. Devi Mukherjee from Calcutta said to Master, "Oh, but if you had seen the life of Meera, you would hate this movie." Master said, "Why do you speak of comparisons? All is God. You can't compare saints. So if I do, remember, please, that I'm doing it in a very outward way, because even a Jivan Mukta is as great as anybody. He already has attained oneness with God. The state of Jivan Mukta means simply to have risen above ego consciousness, something we all have to do. But once you've done that, then everything you do, you don't do with the thought, I am doing it. You have the understanding that He is doing it through you. And you have to have reached Nirvikalpa Samadhi to have really attained that state. But it's a good state to affirm always. And once you've attained that state, then comes the real work. This is something that very interesting that a disciple of Ramakrishna said, that I used to think that when I attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the job would be finished. I see now that it is only begun. Because then you have to go back and realize that it was God through you who acted all the parts that you ever acted. You acted as a pirate maybe, as a merchant, as a seaman, as an emperor, as a slave, as a torturer, as the tortured. So many scenes you have played. And another absolutely fascinating aspect of this whole show is that when you were a pirate, or when you were a seaman, or when you were an emperor, or whatever, you were yourself as an emperor, yourself as a pirate. You were your own particular kind of pirate. In other words, there is some, as Master said, that in every atom is dowered with individuality. That is the fantastic thing about this cosmic creation, that God is center everywhere, circumference nowhere. He couldn't create this world the way we create things. That is why, what's his name, Joyce? Elmer Joyce, is it?
James Joyce?
No. Or Joyce Elmer, I'm age. He wrote Trees.
Joyce Kilmer.
Joyce Kilmer. He said, only God could make a tree. And this is true. You can make the form of a tree, but you can't infuse it with life. And how does God do things? He doesn't do it from outside in. We can get the form there. We can make the Pietà, as Michelangelo did. Beautiful statue, but you tap it and it's stone. But God grows from within. God from every center of the universe manifests outward. It's an absolutely wonderful, incredible, marvelous show. And every atom is dowered with individuality.